Anyway, we got a special treat tonight. We're gonna have the trainer, father, and of Sean. Ken, how you doing today?
I'm well. I'm real good. Thank you.
Hey man, I'm glad you felt like calling in, brother. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what's going on over there with these pictures, man? Because we were under the assumption that they were working together. Now you're telling me he was scouting them. I mean, how does a challenger scout a fucking champion anyway?
Man, you know, it's just like back in the days when you played basketball or was at a court and somebody came up to the court and they was just sitting off to the side watching your game, watching you go up and down the court, you know what I'm saying, before they decided they want to get on the court with you, they want to see what you had. So he begged up on coming to a workout that he knew we was at, that we would be working, and the word was told to him, nah, that's Porter's time. He's working with the track coach. And he was, really persistent in inviting himself, and he came, and of course he was very, cordial and very nice like he is, and he got in and he watched, and you know when people are watching you, man. So it's nothing new.
So clearly, you've been the mastermind behind all the Sean Porter wins. So how welcoming of a Amir Khan fight are you? Because he brings nothing to the table at this point. I mean, he has no belt, but he does bring popularity. He will make you more popular. A win over Khan would make a Kell Brook fight versus Sean Porter in the UK probably upwards of 20,000 people in an arena. Is that how you would look at an Amir Khan fight? Is that how you would welcome it?
Well, that's how you just put it. Looking at it from that standpoint, it would look good. But my question is always, why we got to go over there? Why don't you come conquer us? Why don't you come over and kick everybody's ass in the United States? We don't even know who you are. We don't care who you are. Come over here, whoop somebody's ass, and then you've done something. Amir came over here, and we finding out it's not as easy as he thought it was going to be. So, That part of it, as far as, fighting him because of his name and some popularity, that's great, excellent, wonderful. But even after that, it's a letdown for me to tell me that you want me to go to the UK to fight some guy named Kell Brook. He don't even got a Y on the end of the name. Put the Y on the end of the name, shit. Say Kelly Brook, so.
All right, let me pass you off to some of the guys. Let them get a piece here. B, what's up, man? What do you got for Ken?
Hold up. I'm not that easy, man. You can't be passing me off now. I ain't that easy. I'm going to put up a little fight. I got a little resistance.
Ken, would that fight be realistic, though, on the Mayweather undercard, Sean Porter maybe versus Amir Khan? Would that make sense? Is that something that you want to look forward to?
You know what? I haven't actually, other than the fact that you guys are discussing it right now. Of course, it did come up when we were working out. A reporter was there, and he said, hey, how does it feel you out here on the track? And, you might possibly have a fight with him. And Sean said, well, just like right now, I'm smiling and laughing. You know what I mean? I'll flip the switch on him, and we'll get down and dirty. So, I'm right now, I would welcome anybody for a fight. We don't have one. We don't have a date. We don't have an opponent. Nobody's, banging on the door to take the fight with us right now, and it may sound like, you heard that before, but that's the truth right now. We don't have anybody, so we're looking for somebody.
So no one's calling right now, so basically, what's the deadline? I asked your son this last week. What's the deadline? When do you guys want to get in there?
We are, I would say right now, we're about close to 45 days in the training and just keeping it balanced. So he's been working for about, give or take, 45 days. If you say go, we can do April. That's easy. If you're asking us to do it in May, then we got to kind of slow things down, take a few more 13,000-foot flights. It drops out of the plane and do some more NASCARs or something to keep busy. But I'm looking forward to somebody, anybody, and it got to make sense, obviously. Amir Khan, that would be great. The other guys that are try to position themselves or figure out who they're going to fight, if it's going to be Maidana fighting Bronner or Maidana fighting Floyd and all that kind of stuff like that. You know, we got both hands raised that we'll take the fight. It doesn't matter.
So do you think basically if Sean, fights in Amir Khan and beats him convincingly, do you think that just puts Sean on the front of the line for Mayweather in September?
It could possibly put him somewhere in the thought process, but at the same time, I'm quite sure when it comes down to it, that's not something that they're interested in. They have no interest in that. They don't have no interest in that. They're looking for the least resistance to get their record is the most wins and lead boxing with no losses and all that kind of shit like that. And you know what I'm saying, I don't have an interest in that. I understand life. And you got to pay taxes, you got to pay bills, you're going to win, you're going to lose. Whatever you do to me today, you're going to have to do it tomorrow. So make a rematch clause. We'll get another one. We'll get back at you again. I'm not concerned about losing. That's not a concern of mine. That's not a fear. So that's their fear. That's not our fear. And with that being the case, it don't matter who we beat. They don't have an interest in us.
I'm going to ask you one question before I pass you over to James. Now, how's Sean's state of mind right now? Because he's waiting in the wings for a fight. Nothing's signed yet. No one's calling. Is he anxious right now? Is he kind of jittery right now? You have to kind of calm him down a little bit.
No, I don't think so. You know what? He's a different type of person. I guess that's part of the reason why him and I work so well. I'm the one that'll get in your face and get in your ass, and he's the one that will quietly get in your ass. So, as far as, what I'm saying, that was my decision to go jump out of those planes at 13,000 feet. That was my decision to do that NASCAR on the same day in the afternoon. So I will find things to keep him, occupied, places to go, things to do, and we're going to have some fun along the way.
All right. Go ahead, James.
Hey, what's up? So I was just wondering, a lot of fighters like to come out and they say that I don't even watch, film on our other fighters and stuff like that when they're preparing for a fight. Now you got someone like Amir Khan that shows up to your actual workout. So do you think that's a way of him almost saying he's kind of nervous about Sean Porter? And does that make you feel better or give you more confidence knowing that a high level athlete like Amir Khan, or at least who's perceived to be high level, is so worried about your son that he doesn't even want to deal with the tapes. He wants to actually see him in person.
You know what? I give him props for doing that because I'm the same type of guy. I'm the same person. I'll go stand right next to you and say, yeah, I'm here, So I give him props for doing that. But, I don't think it makes us think one way or the other in any type of way. I mean, he handled it he handled it with, like a gentleman that he would be coming from England. He was, very outgoing and talkative, and he came over and he shook everybody's hand and everything, and then he kind of gradually got into the workouts, and then for Sean, I saw Sean, he was like, okay, I'm going to beat him in everything we do here today. So, that's just one of those situations is, what I'm saying, on his part, I give him credit for stepping up and coming out like that. I'm the same way. I'll go look. I study everybody. I don't care who it is. If I get a chance, if I get an opportunity, I'm going to do it.
I'm also kind of interested in it as well. So this would be Amir Khan's first fight at 147, and I mean, we were just arguing moments before you even got a call that we don't even think that he deserves a title shot at 147 because he hasn't had any stellar performances. So does it make you upset that your son has kind of had to prove himself a little bit more because maybe he doesn't have the backing of a Britain behind him and the hype? So do you feel, basically, straight up, do you feel that he's even worthy, or do you think that he's deserving of a title shot at your son when your son had to go through trial by fire, and this guy just has the backing of a nation, and that's why he's even being talked to your son, or being talked in conversations with your son?
No, it didn't bother me at all. I mean, I understand boxing, and that's. They do what they want to do as far as that's concerned. But, I mean, if an opportunity comes to fight a guy that's got a name, I mean, unfortunately, Victor Ortiz lost, but he came back and he fought on Fox Sports for an unbelievable amount of money, and the guy's been out for quite a while and hasn't had good performances in quite a while, but he had a name. So if a guy has a name, if that's what gets him to the get him to the table with us, I'll take it. As far as who we got to fight to get to a point, where we're respected in that situation, it doesn't matter. Again, it's a fight. So, we just, we want to prepare for whoever that might be, and then we'll be ready to go and then, take on that challenge and move on to the next one.
It was $500,000, Ken, that Ortiz got to get knocked out.
It's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And if he could have stayed on his feet, they were actually considering him fighting Sean.
Well,
man.
You kind of wish that he did. He was the one that actually did it before Luis Collazo had a chance? I guess
I'm
that's
sorry?
kind of a question because I'm assuming. Well, my question was kind of, do you feel that Sean should have done it first? Did you kind of, when you were watching that, were you kind of hoping that you were gonna see Victor Ortiz fight your son, or were you kind of let down when you saw Luis Collazo pick him off the tree before you guys had a chance to?
No, I didn't feel that way. I mean, again, understanding boxing, you don't know what, what I'm saying? Things never make sense. They never add up the way they're supposed to. 1 + 1 ain't going to equal 2 with these promoters. But if it did, why would they even take a chance with a guy like Collazo? That's a dangerous fight for this guy, and he's been gone as long as he did. I didn't look at the fight and think to myself, I wish that was us in there with it. I would have much rather him beat that guy and look good at it and then have an opportunity to fight us.
Now, Ken, let me ask you, you guys, before you got comfortable and moved to Las Vegas, you traveled a lot when Sean was in training, and you guys sparred numerous people. I believe there may have been some sparring sessions with Thurman, but we don't want to know the ins and outs of that. But how would you welcome a Keith Thurman fight? Because he seems to be the next guy that Golden Boy is pushing. Like, Sean won this title by accident, let's be honest. He was not, it was not in Golden Boy's plans for Devin to lose that belt, because they had already invested numerous dollars in Devin. He was already showcased on HBO numerous times when he was with Don King. He was a more recognizable name than Sean Porter. Sean Porter threw the monkey wrench, took the belt. Now, what happens if they're looking to put Thurman in with your son?
That's one way of looking at it. And another way of looking at it, they could have looked and said, oh, shit, we made a mistake with this guy. Let's see what happens if we put him in with Porter, and if he can't pull it off, then we'll start getting behind Porter. So as far as Keith is concerned, Keith, I got mad respect for Keith. Keith is a great fighter. Keith is a world champion waiting to happen. If they had let him fight Madonna when he was supposed to, he would have beaten him already. If they give him a shot at Bronner, he'll break Bronner down. That will be no problem for Keith. My suggestion, in my eyes, the way it should be done, move Keith up that WBA ladder and let him clean up that side. Let Sean do what he's doing over here and clean up this side, and then make a mega fight like he's supposed to. But if that's not going to happen, and they're going to put the right amount of money on the table, and they're going to not only put the right amount of money on the table, but when they do it, we're going to need a little disclaimer that says, oh, yeah, when the two young guns here take each other out, they get Mayweather, instead of us saying, oh, Thurman beat him, so he doesn't get a shot at Mayweather because Thurman beat him. So we want something that's substantial that says, it's worth it as far as the monetary value, and something that says we're going to get a shot at the guy that, gets to pick and choose who he wants to fight. So we don't want to be just, fighting each other just because they want us to do it.
Ken, having a Mayweather clause in the that would never happen. And I know that you guys are advised by Heyman, but that would never happen. It's never happened. And look, I'm an optimist too. I mean, it could all change with Sean Porter, but to say that you would fight Thurman only if the next fight was Mayweather, I mean, no one puts pressure on Mayweather. As you can see, he does what he wants. And like you said, he doesn't even want you. So why would he allow that?
Oh no, I didn't ever think he would. I'm just putting it out there, and would put it out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he would ever even consider it. I'm just would say to them, hey guys, if you want to see Thurman and Porter, okay, make the little boy down the street, because that's what I call him. He live right down the street from me here. Make the little boy down the street, put away some of his cars and get his ass up in the ring with somebody that's young and fresh, that, you know what I'm saying, not hanging out in the clubs, not balling, not kicking it, not having, you know, all these women in their life and all this other extracurricular activities. Straight up gym rat. That's all they do. You know what I mean? So we can really, really see what's going on. You know what I mean?
So wait, let me get this clear. In your opinion, you're saying that Sean Porter's work ethic is far and leaps and bounds above Mayweather's work ethic, because you called him a little boy who is in a club and numerous women. So clearly you don't think that he takes his career seriously.
No, I didn't say nothing about him not taking his career. He takes that very seriously. I didn't say, no, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I call him the little boy down the street because he lives down the street from me, on the same side of the street, 1 mile down the street. Sometimes Sean is running down one side of the street. He's running up the other. Sometimes I'm riding my bike down one side. He riding his up the other. Okay? No, he take all of his stuff serious. He take all of his stuff serious. What I'm saying is, with all things being equal, which nobody probably think they are, no one thinks they're equal. Okay? Nobody thinks they're equal at all. But if we make all things equal, I got a young man that ain't never did no drugs, never did no alcohol, don't have no babies, ain't chasing no women around, ain't doing nothing but preparing himself for his fight. With all things being equal, I think I got just a little bit more going into that ring as far as being ready to give everything that I got, in comparison to somebody that's not willing to give everything they got. He ain't willing to give everything he got. He only willing to give part of that. Like when I go to my little sorry-ass defense over here, I'm not ready to rock and roll with you. We going to fight. It's not going to be a situation where you can pick or pair a shot off with us, because there's a lot more punches coming. See, because we don't stay up all night, so we can fight all night. We run all day, we can fight all night. So you don't get that opportunity. You're gonna have to do a whole lot of something to just be able to be up in there with us. We're not gonna make it easy. It's gonna be very uncomfortable. But we won't even get that chance. That's why I said they're not gonna make that phone call to us. It's not gonna happen.
Now, Ken, the last time another Al Heyman fighter that posed a threat to Mayweather had the ability and opportunity to fight him, it is, I guess, on the majority of the fight fans that Mayweather ducked Paul Williams in his prime at 147 after the Margarito win and even before the Margarito win. Knowing that, and that you're in similar situations and that you know the style of Sean and how he fights to the last drop and he's always throwing punches, and it would be an uncomfortable fight for Mayweather, they wouldn't call you because of that reason, right?
No, we're not going to get that call. I fully understand that. That's not going to happen. We're not going to get that call. And, you know, I'm quite sure, you know, Paul Williams, there were other champions besides Paul Williams, but, yeah, he was a Heyman fighter. But, you know, there were other champions. There were other people. You know, there were other fighters that, hell, Margarito was out there. Paul Williams was out there. Cotto was out there. All of these guys were more in the prime back then than when he decided to fight. Some of them, like Cotto, you know, or Shane Mosley. There were a lot of guys that, you know, he didn't fight. So I mean, hell, Berto in his prime was out there. Berto in his prime. So I mean, there's a lot of guys, and so there, he's like Denzel. He's the star of the movie. He's saying he's gonna pick his co-star, and that co-star is not gonna make him look bad. He's not gonna allow that co-star to make him look bad. At the end of the day, he got to be the star of the show. So there can't be anybody that looks just as good or almost as good. It makes him look bad.
So now, knowing this, how do you campaign for a Mayweather fight? Like, not saying that you are, but what do you have to do to position your son to fight Mayweather one day or before next year? Possibly has to happen next year or it's over.
Oh, well, actually, honestly, to be honest with you, I wasn't going to campaign for it. It's not something I'm interested in. I'm not chasing somebody that don't have an interest in me. That's like me chasing a girl that don't like me. I don't do shit like that. I just don't do it. You know what I mean? I don't do it. You know what I mean? You don't like me? That's cool. That's fine. I'll just keep on doing what I'm doing. So there's other people. I mean, it'll speak for itself. There's other guys, there's other fighters that, eventually, we'll get the opportunity to see exactly what Sean is made of against those guys and how he fares against those guys and what adjustments he makes against those different sizes and styles and whatever it is. And we'll get a chance to see what he is really made of. I'm not concerned about, that's not something I'm concerned with. I'm not going to pursue something like that,
He's not a stalker, Ness. He's not a stalker.
Before I let you go, let me know if you had all the power in the world, how would Sean's career look in 2014? What fights would he have, and what would be the outcomes?
That's a tough question, man.
Can you repeat the question?
If you had all the power in the world, how would your son's 2014 look, as far as how many fights, what fighters, and what outcome?
Damn, man, they already behind. They ain't leaving us. They're only leaving us about 2 fights. With this time that we got now?
If you had all the power in the world, so politics aside, you can say Bradley by KO in the 10th, Mayweather first-round stoppage, Amir Khan 10 seconds into the first round. I mean, if you had all the power in the world, politics aside, and you can set the fights up that you wanted for your son to have, how many would it be? Who would they be? How would they end?
Dream scenario, Ken. Dream scenario.
Let me see real quick. How about, since the little boy down the street ain't going to fight us, how about Marquez?
Wow. I like that.
Actually, Marquez, Pacquiao, and then Bradley. See, because I think Tim Bradley and Sean Porter is a hell of a fight. Tim, to me, I got a lot of respect for him, but to me, in that Provodnikov fight, he really just had a brain fart or something. That he did some dumb stuff in that fight because, I fully understand, trust me, believe me, sparring is not a beat-all, do-all. It's not, okay? But Sean has been in the ring with Provodnikov. He can't hit us, and we hurt him so bad that Freddie Rose said, don't you ever get in the ring with Sean Porter again, okay? And he cussed out their coach when the coach tried to get us some sparring with him again about a few weeks later when he had no sparring, and they said, hey, we got to have something. Let's put him in with Sean. And Freddie said, hell no, you're not putting him in there. The guy is nowhere near as good as some of these people are making him look, okay? So I'll take that fight twice on Sundays. And I'll ask for that fight, but, we didn't get it. But if I can get Juan Manuel, Manny Pacquiao, and finish up with Bradley this year at the end of the year, man, I would love that. And like I said, I know Bradley wouldn't have a problem fighting us. He'll take the fight.
I want to thank you for calling in and, glad that you gave us this opportunity to give you a quick interview, man, and, have a good night.
Hey, thank you guys for having me. I enjoy the show. I'm a fan. I listen just for my man Nestor. with his F-bombs, you know. You remind me. When I was a bouncer back when I was a younger guy, and I was a bouncer. I used to have a guy who used to come in there, and he'd be drunk, and every time he'd come in there, he'd cuss me out, and he'd say, "F you this, F you that, F you this, F you that," and so I started calling him the "fuck you man," and that's what you made me think of when I'm listening to him. I'm like, this dude just dropping the bomb. So I enjoy the show. It's entertaining, and you know, every chance, the opportunity I get, I'm listening.
Man, we appreciate that, man. I just get passionate. I get passionate.
He's like a Dominican Howard Stern, man. That's what he is. He's a Dominican Howard Stern.
Keep it going, man. Keep it going. I'll be listening.
Thank you.
All right.